Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to Villa in the Morning with Villa AM here on the For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. It's an eventful day yesterday after the eventful day the day before, and I'm sure there's going to be a hell of a lot more eventful days between now and the end of the transfer window. And let's kick it off, really, I suppose, with transfer news, and we'll finish it up with some quotes from some people around the club then afterwards as well. So let's start, I suppose, really with the last 2 days have been dominated by Jacob Ramsey news. Is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Last night it was almost a given thing that he was on his way to Newcastle, but then there was a bit of cold water poured over that by Jacob Tanswell this morning, where he mentioned that, Villa were actually going to sit down again with Ramsey and his people. They were going to have a chat with them, and they were going to see if they could come to a conclusion with regards to a contract. So maybe it wasn't as far down the line as we were led to believe via Twitter and so on. And definitely something that's going to rumble past this weekend, I would imagine, after Villa play Newcastle. But it looks like for all the talking I did about Jacob Ramsey yesterday, and all the talk that's happened about Jacob Ramsey on the internet, this one still has a small bit left to play. And when we do get a final resolution on it, we'll be back with long form on this once again. But yeah, Jacob Ramsey may not be leaving Aston Villa imminently, just like we thought was the case yesterday. Now, somebody who is probably a bit closer to the door, potentially, is Leon Bailey. Being reported by Sasha Tavalieri, by both Jacob Tanswell and David Ornstein as well, that Roma are in negotiations with Aston Villa with regards to Leon Bailey. So much so that representatives are flying to Italy to discuss. Information out there that this is a loan with an obligation to buy, which we would discuss those types of deals in more longer form, I think, in a different podcast, but which is, means that Leon Bailey will go on loan this season, and then that Roma will buy him at the end of next season, which can have a beneficial impact from an SCR and then a follow-on beneficial impact from a PSR value at the end. And we get some people who are more versed in that kind of stuff than me to talk about it. But yes, Leon Bailey looks like, I would imagine, that his time at Aston Villa is coming to a close. Not only are Roma interested, but Turkish and Saudi clubs are interested as well. So once again, there seems to be a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of moving parts, and Leon Bailey looks like he could be somebody that could be moving on and moving to Rome, to the Eternal City, to play under Gasparini, and they would have had a good look at him because obviously we played Roma this year in a preseason friendly. So Leon Bailey news is something that's usually never too far from the lips of Aston Villa fans in the off season. Also, somebody who I think Villa fans have mentioned it would be beneficial if we get him off the books is Leander Den Donker, a very spurious link from a Belgian reporter whose name I cannot pronounce, but I retweeted it. Said that Den Donker is being linked with a move to Ajax, and it would be a move on loan where they would, I would imagine, it would be percentage of wages. I don't know, but he's on the list, and to move, the Ajax are looking for number 6, but they want an experienced number 6 that plays specifically in that number 6 role. Obviously, Den Donker was on loan at Anderlecht in Belgium last year, previously on loan at Napoli. And he is somebody that there's probably no secret, his wages don't match his talent at this club anymore. And, he is somebody that would be allowed leave, for pennies on the dollar, I think. But it was interesting that this one has surfaced today about Leander Den Donker to Ajax. And I would imagine there's numerous phone calls being fielded about numerous Aston Villa players, specifically those that potentially don't have the fruitful future at the club as that other players do as well. So potentially we will see Leander Den Donker to Ajax. We will keep an eye out for that. I don't have a graphic for the next one, but also another spurious link, but it was from a huge Man City account that mentioned that Aston Villa have been inquiring about Rico Lewis. I have no idea where that fits in with Aston Villa's strategy, but I just said I'd throw it out there because why not? Spurious transfer news segment within Villa AM here about Leander Den Donker, and out of Aston Villa, Rico Lewis coming to Aston Villa. Obviously, an excitingly talented player, Rico Lewis, but I just cannot see Man City not signing him back to another contract and utilising him a small bit more in this coming season as well. So moving on from I suppose really actually one last piece of transfer news before we do move on is a 3-year deal for Marco Asensio. Seems to be building pace now. I think it's probably it's gone from a 10% chance that Asensio would sign a week and a half ago to probably a 60 to 70% chance that he signs for Aston Villa now, according to French media. So another one that we will keep an eye on. We'll split fan base opinions, but I think the experience this guy brings and the fact that he's been around the club last year is a massive positive, plus the leadership qualities that he has. Again, more long form stuff on that should it happen. Now, another thing that happened as well today is that, and it's not transfer news, but Morgan Rogers has returned to training. He's been spotted in some training footage that Aston Villa have released today. Today being Wednesday, the 13th of August, this podcast coming out on Thursday, the 14th of August. So that bodes well for him potentially having some involvement in the game on Saturday afternoon versus Newcastle. So more to come on that. Also, Boubacar Kamara has been spotted in those training videos as well. Somebody that we thought would more than likely be involved in those anyway. But still, it's good to see them out in the field and that they are contributing. And then finally, to finish off, wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to Jimmy Shan. Jimmy Shan has stepped up into the role of the under-21s manager from the under-18s manager last year. He takes on Leeds in his first game and he's relishing that challenge. He gave an interview to AVTV, Villa TV, today. He said that he's relishing the challenge, stepping up, playing against Leeds for a team in the under-21s to finish bottom of the Premier League 2 last year. He's excited to be playing with to be working with a lot of players that he brought to the FA Cup run in the under-18s last year as well. And he's hoping that the growth through the levels gives them an element of surprise, considering that he will have pretty youthful team out there as well. But the main thing he wants to instill in this team is a winning mentality, and I think that that's something that he's done at the 18s and something that we want to project onto the senior team as well. And lastly, he spoke about the glowing pride he had of some of the youth players that got some senior minutes in this off-season, the likes of Tristan Rowe, Hemmings, Patterson, Burrows, Jimaldine, Jimaloba, etc. So Jimmy Shan, we wish you all the best for the year and hope that you can bring that success to the under-21s. So that is your Villa AM on the 14th of August. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.